Hello friends, this video on graphs part 8 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now that we are talking so much about graphs, let us talk about linear graphs. What are linear graphs? What do you think linear graphs would be? Linear. What is linear? Linear means we call multiple points to be linear when they lie along a straight line. So linear, the term linear is associated with straight line. So what could be linear graph? A graph which is a straight line, or maybe a graph where you have small pieces of straight lines which are joined to each other, like bits of line segments joined together, something like that. So yes, linear graph is a graph with bits of line segments joined consecutively. So here on the screen you see examples of a lot of linear graphs where you see you have bits of line segments, like this is a line segment, this is again another line segment, this is yet another line segment, and all of these line segments are joined consecutively one after another, and this makes a linear graph. So here in this section, we are going to talk more about linear graphs and the coordinates in a linear graph, dependent and independent variables. So this is going to be all about linear graphs. So let us now talk about the concept of coordinates, because coordinates play a very important role in linear graphs. Now, the moment we talk about linear graphs, we actually talk about certain points. Like as you saw that in a linear graph, you have some set of points and you join every two consecutive points to make a line segment, and many such line segments together form the linear graph. So what are those points which we are basically joining? So to define the position of a point, we need coordinates. So these are the set of values that show the exact position of a point. So exact position of a point is given by a coordinate. Now let us look at this picture. So here this is a linear graph because it is made up of three line segments joined consecutively, right? And how did you make these line segments? With the help of these points 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the 4 points. So how do you know the exact location of each of these points? So the exact location or the position of each of these points is given by coordinates. Like where is this point located? So to find out its position, you would see where is it located on the x-axis. So on the x-axis it is at a distance of 10 units, and on the y-axis it is at a distance of 70 units. So basically 10 units on the x-axis and 70 units on the y-axis. So this defines the position of this particular point. Similarly, you will have coordinates for all of these points. So that's coordinates. So how do we find the coordinates? To find the coordinates, we always focus on these two axes, the x-axis and the y-axis, which run perpendicular to each other, right? So the horizontal line is x and the vertical line is y. And the point where these two axes intersect, that point is the origin, which is represented by 0. So this is origin and it is represented by 0. So all the measurements along x-axis as well as y-axis, the measurement starts from 0. So you see, when we talk about this point, the measurement of the x-axis is measured from 0. Similarly, when we talk about this point on the y-axis, the measurement is done from 0 till 70. So which is 70, right? Now, normally how is coordinate represented? So in general, it is represented like this, x comma y, where x represents the x coordinate and y represents the y coordinate. Now what do we mean by x coordinate? So x coordinate basically means that how far is it from the y axis. Now see, this is very interesting. Now let's talk about this point. Let's call this point as point P. So how far is point P from the y axis? So that will be denoted by this distance, because point P is this much far from the y-axis. So from where will you get this distance? So the measurement of this distance will be obtained from the x-axis, and this is our x coordinate. So x coordinate basically tells us how far is that point from the y-axis. Similarly, when you talk about the y coordinate, it tells you how far is the point from the x-axis. For example, for point P, how far is P from the x-axis? This much far. So how would you get the exact value of this distance? From the y-axis. So this is your y coordinate. So y coordinate tells you how far is the point from the x-axis. So that's the concept of coordinate. Now please do not get confused. Just remember, x coordinate means you will take the measurement from the x-axis. Like let's say that you are talking about this point. Let's say this point is point Q. You have to find out the coordinates of this point. What will be the x coordinate of this point? So to find out x coordinate, you have to take measurement on the x-axis. So corresponding to this point, draw a perpendicular on the x-axis, draw another perpendicular on the y-axis. So to find out the x coordinate, take the measurement on the x-axis. So the x-axis measurement is 20. Right? So to find out the y coordinate, take the measurement on the y-axis. So on the y-axis, this much is the distance. So which is 55. So 55 will be your y coordinate. So 20, 55 will be the coordinates of point Q. Similarly, let's say this is point R. To find out the coordinates here, the x coordinate would be, first of all, you join this point to the x-axis as well as the y-axis. So in this case, and draw perpendiculars on both. Like here I am just drawing it with rough hand. When you draw it with a scale, so that it's like more precise and accurate. So in this case, the measurement on the x-axis is 30. The measurement on the y-axis or the y coordinate again is 30. So this would be 30, 30. That would be the coordinate of point R. Let's say this is point S, and I leave this up to you to find out the coordinates of point S. Now, look at this one very carefully. So you have to plot 5, 6 and 6, 5. And you also need to answer if they are the same point. So 5, 6 and 6, 5. Are they the same point? Draw the x and the y axis like this. Okay. So first we will plot the point 5, 6. So let us say this point is point P. And this one again we'll draw it. We'll plot it later. So first find out the location of the point P, which is given by 5, 6. That means 5 is the x coordinate. X coordinate means the reading which is taken on the x axis. Right? So the x axis 5 will be somewhere here. Right? And the y coordinate is 6. That means the reading is taken from the y axis. So basically, if you draw a line from 6 on the y axis and you draw a line from 5 on the x-axis, these two lines will meet at a point, and this point is point P. So for this point P, if you find out its x coordinate, that is the measurement on the x-axis, which is 5. If you find out its y coordinate, that is the measurement on the y-axis, which is 6. So this is your point P. So we have plotted point P. Now the next point is 6, 5. So 6 means the measurement is 6 on the x-axis, that is, this is 6. So you draw a line from 6 like this. Now the measurement is 5 on the y-axis, that is this. So now you draw a line from 5. So where do these two lines intersect? So they basically intersect at this point. So this point is a different point. So do you think that they both are the same point? Definitely not. They are two different points, right? So this is P and this is Q. So they are not the same point. Now we will talk about another important concept with regards to linear graph, that is dependent and independent variable. Now let us understand what do we mean by this. Now as the name suggests, dependent means this variable will depend on some other quantity. So the quantity whose value depends on another quantity, that is a dependent variable. So quite obvious from the name itself, whereas the quantity whose value does not depend on any quantity, that is independent. So that was very much obvious from the name itself. But let us try to understand what exactly it means. So let's take this example. So you see some tomatoes here, and let's talk about the price of the tomatoes. So let's say that the cost of 1 kg tomatoes is rupees 20. The cost of 2 kg tomatoes is rupees 40. The cost of 3 kg tomatoes is rupees 60, and so on. So that's the cost of the tomatoes. Now basically what is happening, as the quantity of the tomatoes is changing, the price is also changing. right? So the moment you change the quantity, if you want to buy 1 kg tomato, you will have to pay rupees 20. If you buy 5 kg tomato, you will have to pay rupees 100, right? So the moment your quantity changes, the cost also changes. So what does this show? This shows that the cost is dependent on the quantity. Correct? So in this case, in this particular example, you can say that cost is a dependent variable, because the value of the cost depends upon the quantity of the tomatoes. So cost is dependent on the quantity. So cost is a dependent variable, whereas the quantity, which is the quantity of tomatoes, so quantity of tomatoes is an independent variable, right? Because cost depends on how much tomatoes you have taken, but how much tomato you will take, that doesn't directly depend on the cost, right? For example, if you need 2 kg tomatoes, you will buy 2 kg tomatoes, so the cost of the tomato will change accordingly, correct? But that doesn't mean that if the cost is changing, then the amount of the tomato is changing, right? So now there could be a scenario, a corner case scenario, when you think that, okay, I just have rupees 20 in my wallet, so in that case I can only buy 1 kg tomato. So in that case, the amount of quantity is dependent on the money. But in this case, the amount of the tomatoes is dependent on the money in your wallet. It is not dependent on the price of the tomato. Correct? So what I am trying to say is the cost of the tomato is dependent on the quantity of the tomato that you buy. So the cost of tomato that you pay to the shopkeeper depends on the quantity of the tomato. So that way cost is dependent, but quantity of tomato that you are buying is independent of the cost. Correct? So now, if you want to plot this in a graph, what do? You take the tomatoes, which is independent variable, along the x-axis, and the dependent variable along the y-axis. So for 1 kg tomato, the cost is 20. For 2 kg tomatoes, cost is 40. 3 kg, it is 60, and so on. So you will get a graph like this. Correct? So now, there is no hard and fast rule, but in many cases we see that the independent variable is taken on the x-axis and the dependent variable is taken on the y-axis.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.